In this video, we will discuss the characteristics of young learners in general. We also have another video in which we discuss the characteristics of young learners specific to learning language. You may also want to view that. First, children have short attention spans. Unlike adults who can force themselves to pay attention, children have limited ability to give their whole attention to one situation, especially if that situation, whether teacher explaining a topic or an activity, is not very interesting to them. What are the implications of this characteristic to our teaching? First, the teacher must use big gestures. Big gestures help direct attention to the action being taken and its objective. Use your hands, eyes, and even whole body to make big gestures. Second, teachers must vary their voice. A varying voice helps catch attention among young learners as opposed to a monotonous tone like the one used for lecturing to adults who share a particular field of interest with the speaker. Varying your voice also gives clues as to what you are talking about. Third, use attention-getting stuff. For instance, one teacher found out that wearing a small mirror as her necklace helps catch attention among her young pupils. In doing your explaining, you can use real-world items, called realia, to help children visualize and keep their focus on your discussion or activity. Fourth, use games for learning. Even very simple games are better than just talking about a particular learning item. Games excite young learners, maybe even by just telling them that your activity is a game. In fact, in the real world, play has an important role in the cognitive development of children. This is particularly true because play increases children's attention spans on an activity. Fifth, don't stay too long on an activity. Insisting on finishing a boring activity such as monotonous reading can have the negative effect of impressing upon children that learning, or school is boring. This will further strengthen whatever aversion children have to learning in a school environment. If you see your children show signs of boredom or lack of attention such as yawning or restlessness, better stop the activity and do something that energizes children, whom you could later inspire to go back and finish the activity. Related to the first characteristic is that children cannot stay still for a long time. Children are said to be kinesthetic learners. That is, they learn while moving. As a teacher, keeping this in mind may require you to come up with learning activities where young learners stand up, leave their seats and move around. Another way to deal with this is to channel young learners' energies into games. Games take the natural active personality of young learners and use it to enable them to learn. You can also bring real stuff, or you can allow them to touch and play with objects as part of your lesson. Children are also spontaneous. They love spur-of-the-moment activities. As a teacher, you need to prepare surprises that excite young learners. You can also produce spontaneity by varying your activities. And of course, you could just suddenly lead them in an energetic action song. But nothing surprises a group of young learners like suddenly playing a game. Children love new things. They may actually lose interest in something they originally liked if that is repeated too many times. Finally, children are curious and imaginative. Dr. Ken Robinson even asserts that by lighting the fire of curiosity in the minds of young learners, learning will become effortless. As a teacher, you will need to provide lessons that involve kindling their curiosity. For example, you can let them go out of the classroom and investigate or explore some things. This is the rationale behind field trips. Inside the classroom, you can provide things they can investigate such as a trunk full of stuff. You also need to ask the right questions that provoke your pupils to think and use their imagination. This is the reason why stories play an important role in imparting lessons to young learners. In conclusion, your teaching should be developmentally appropriate. That means, as you teach, you take into consideration the current level of young learners in preparing your lessons. Do you have a general characteristic of young learners in mind that was not fully discussed in this video? Please share it in the comments section. Thank you.